Hello, hello, this is Fear Dragon coming at you with another StarCraft 2 netcast. Today we have yet another Protoss vs. Zerg. This is going to be Game 2, so if you don't know what happened in Game 1 of Moki versus Murazor from the Winners Finals of Boilerfrag 4.0, go ahead and check out that video that should be somewhere on my page. But anyways, for everyone that has watched Game 1, let's go ahead and jump into Game 2 on this glorious Friday. Down here in the bottom left-hand corner of Cloud Kingdom, we have the blue Protoss player. He is, I believe, down 0 for 1. Can he come back in this best-of-3 series? His name is Moki. And his opponent who is up 1 win against Mokomi. He is going to be spawning as the red Zerg in the top right-hand side of Cloud Kingdom. Can he finish off the series and stop Mokomi from bringing this to a to the third game? His name is Murazor. Once again, one last time, guys, this is from Boilerfrag 4.0. That does mean it was the premier tournament, the premier LAN event at Purdue University. Both these players for the Collegiate Star League team of Purdue University. So they will know each other. They do know at least a little bit about each other's playstyles and whatnot. But meanwhile, we do see some pretty normal looking stuff going down right now. Mokomi looking like he's going to be saving up that money. Might be looking to do a Nexus first build. So it's going to be an interesting decision. We already have the pool down for Murazor. It was actually a relatively early pool. So he will actually be able to deal with this probe, this so annoying probe, just so easily. I don't think that he'll have any issues with that whatsoever. And, you know, I can't really... Oh, there it is. There is that first Nexus first. That will mean that Mokomi is going to be in a slightly better economic position. It is a riskier thing to do, but I don't think the risk will be too huge, as that Forge is starting now, and we don't see any Zerglings. Only just now, 4 Zerglings getting started. So, you know, Murazor does see this. He might be able to sneak some of those Zerglings in just to get a little bit of scouting information later on. Be annoying as possible with those Zerglings, as you can just kind of harass the worker line, stop probes from mining. You can do all kinds of really just annoying things. It's going to come down to whether or not these Zerglings can even get across the map in time, and I don't think they will. As, oh wow, actually Mokomi leaving that probe on patrol does end up losing it. A little bit of a shame, but no worries, no problem. Mokomi got most of the scouting information he needed. He saw when the Zerglings came out, he saw that there was no hatchery going down, although there is a hatchery going down at the third for Murazor. A very common thing for Zergs to do on this, well, not just even this map in particular, but in general, when a Protoss is being annoying with their probe, they oftentimes just decide, I'm just going to take my first expansion over at my third base, because hey, the probe isn't over there, so, and I'm going to take it early anyways, so no big deal over there. Now it's going to be a question of whether or not he's going to be taking this national anytime soon. I do believe he would. I cannot imagine him trying to take this far away of an expansion without trying to take his natural as well. But we do see a very early Roach Warren. Oh my god, actually, I take back a lot of what I just said. I do believe this is going to be a very big all-in build from Murazor. As we can see, he's already mining that gas. He already is going to have enough for that Zergling speed, but I don't expect him to be using it. There it is. 4 roaches being produced, so this is going to be a huge all-in. He's going to try and bust down the front of Mokomi. Mokomi will not actually have nearly as many cannons as he needs up right now, so it's going to come down to whether or not he can get any scouting off. Is he going to make any zealot? Oh no, where is... Okay, Mokomi does have this probe over here, so if he gets lucky and does decide to move it across the map, he will be able to get a little bit of scouting information off. But I fear that if Mokomi does move this probe in, well, he does know that this expansion was taken, and Mokomi might be fooled the same way that I was, thinking that if this third expansion already has a hatchery over there, then Murazor must surely have taken this expansion as well. But we can see that is not going to be the case. Let's go over here and see in the workers counting station. We see 31 to 15, so if Mokomi can, by some miracle, hold this off, he will be in a fantastic position. But it's going to be so difficult to hold off, and only now Mokomi does realize that all of those units are over there. He needs to throw down so many more cannons, but I'm not sure he has the time anymore. The roaches are over here, the Zerglings are trying to stream in, but there is a blockade of cannons down for Moki. That's going to stop any of the Zerglings from streaming in. Now the roaches are trying to target down some of those cannons, stopping them from going down. It looks like the last cannon that was blocking the Zerglings from coming in does go down. Now the Zerglings are going to start attacking these probes. We can see here in the workers counting station again that Moki is going to be losing those probes, but he can afford to lose quite a few of these. I think he can afford to lose all of these over the natural, as long as he can delay and maybe get some units up. But unfortunately, I don't think that he has any more gateways really anywhere. He does have one gateway in the main building, and does have one more cannon that he's going to finish off. And oh my god, it looks like Moki might actually hold this. This is going to be a really nice hold. And let's see. Yes, Murazor realizes that his aggression is going to put to an end, and he's just going to go ahead and, he's not going to go ahead and get on Skype, but he is going to go ahead and just drone the heck back up. And meanwhile, it looks like Murazor is going to use these last reinforcement Zerglings to do as much damage as possible. And oh my god, he might actually be able to do a lot of damage. There is this gateway completing the wall off once again. +1 will finish, so that will allow any incoming zealots to really just eat away at these Zerglings like no other. But still, he's going to need more than just one zealot or two zealots to really hold off this aggression. He's going to end up losing that forge. Is that a... Oh my god, very well done wall off by Moki. He's really just shown that he's planned ahead. He's been able to expect a lot of these situations and at least delay these kind of Zerglings run-bys, and I would really like to see Moki try and save up some of those minerals and really just start to warp in some zealots, but he just does not have the money right now. He's sitting at 68 minerals, only has one zealot on the field, barely any workers mining. He needs to take some of these guys off of gas, as he does not need that gas right now. What he needs right now is zealots to make it, or minerals to build zealots and make more buildings and finish that wall off again. These Zerglings are going to be so annoying. They're going to pick off so many more probes. Let's see over here. It looks like Murazor has been able to catch up in the workers counting station, and we also see that he's taking a third behind all of this. So he's going to be looking to be in a pretty gosh darn good position with those reinforcement Zerglings, really taking the advantage back in his favor, as Moki was looking pretty gosh darn good early on when he did hold off that aggression, but these reinforcement Zerglings really causing a lot of issues for Moki. Now, these Zealots, once again, do have that +1 upgrade. That means that they kill the Zerglings in one hit, or 2 hits instead of 3, and wow, oh my god, is this what I think it might be? Oh my god, Murazor sending some drones over. Is that a misrally, or was he planning to do some kind of crazy proxy hatchery play? We'll never know, but it looks like for now the drones are just going to head back home. They realize that they do not have the DPS to take down this pylon before the cannon kills them all off. It's 5 damage per attack is really not that much. Now, once again, we do see that there is this probe right over here, over on Murazor's side of the map, so he could plant down a proxy pylon and maybe try and put on a little bit of aggression. We can see that really Murazor just wants to drone up right now. He wants to tech up. He wants to just be playing the macro style, not making units right now, because he's trying to play a little bit of catch-up. He's doing a great job in terms of playing catch-up right now, but he just wants to get as far ahead as possible, and Moki could do a lot of pressure just by planting down that proxy pylon and maybe doing a little bit of zealot harass, forcing some more roaches or Zerglings. But we're not going to see that from Moki, at least not at this point just yet. But we do see a Stargate down. A Stargate, I think, is a pretty nice decision, as Moki must know that that lair is going to be a little bit delayed because of that huge aggression. But it looks like Murazor is actually going to be okay in terms of getting that lair out. He will have that evolution chamber already down, and is already researching +1 missile attacks. But more importantly, he will be able to build those spore colors. Look at that, a massive droning up. And this is exactly what I was talking about. Murazor knows that Moki really just can't move out. Look at this paltry force. It has so much trouble if it tried to move out across the map with just this small number. He does have a few more gateways to back this up now, and the Void Ray being produced, chrono boosted out, so he will be able to push out in just a little bit. Maybe with one more warping round, he'll be able to do some damage. But he has to be very careful. He only has 2 sentries, so this could easily get surrounded by Zerglings or just nuzzled in by those roaches. And Murazor is, of course, going to react instantly to seeing those, as he did have that zone line watchtower. He's going to start pumping those roaches. Now, let's see if Murazor can hold off this aggression from Moki. Moki is definitely going to have to try and do some damage. Even if it's just producing units, I don't think it will be enough. As we can see, Moki about 30 or 25 workers behind in the working counting station, and Moki doing a wise thing and just pushing forward, forcing Murazor to produce units, and then backing off, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough. Murazor, realizing that Mokomi is no longer pushing up, is going to go ahead and take a fourth. Mokomi hasn't even had plans to take a third yet. I don't even know if he can safely take a third just yet. We do see that there are 2 Stargates now, so he will be able to do some really nice aggression in a second. Now, where is that Void Ray? Is the Void Ray anywhere? I know that Mokomi does have 2 Void Rays out on the map, but I cannot find them for the life of me. Looks like he was just pulling them up. Does not want to reveal his tech just quite yet. So he moved out with his army, picking off anything at the Zone Logger Watchtower, picking off any stray overlords. And oh my god, it looks like this might actually be a very awkward situation. Makomi's going to move down, kill off this 4th, and he's going to feel pretty happy until the swell of roaches come in from behind and just basically trap this entire army. Now a couple of roaches are moving in. They're going to try and delay the army just a little bit. Oh my god, Murazor actually not canceling that 4th. A very bold decision right there. I hope that was not just a mistake. And Murazor is going to come in with this huge influx of roaches, and they're going to be able to easily clean up this stalker count, but they're going to have a lot of issues attacking these voiders as they just can't. They don't attack up. Their little heads cannot face that far high in the air as they just want to stay pretty much level with the ground. So that does mean that these voiders will be able to do a lot of damage to these roaches. The roaches do clean up a majority of Mokomi's army. A couple more stalkers do get warped in, but Murazor needs to back up. Does he have any spore crawlers building? I don't actually see any spore crawlers building. He does have a Hydralisk den and does have 5 Hydralisks on the way, so he will be able to deal with these two Stargates in just a little bit. He has a fabulous economy at this point in comparison to Mokomi. He also has those 3 bases up, which is exactly what he needs. He has the tech to deal with this as well. But honestly, these Voiders are going to do so much damage before those Hydralisks finally eventually end up popping. And even when they do end up popping, these are 4 fully charged Voideries. They're going to be able to pick off this 3rd before the Hydralisks can really do a lot of damage. Oh, actually, the Hydralisks do come in. There are a decent number of them. There are 4 of them. They are picking off those Voiders. The Voideries not paying attention. They are just focused firing down that hatchery. And meanwhile, at the same time, there are a lot of roaches burrowing their way into Mokomi's natural. There is a cannon there, so he will be able to see this. Now the roaches funneling in, not exactly in the best situation, as they are not exactly doing all of the, they're not all moving in at the right time. They are just getting funneled in, and they're taking a lot of damage. Even though they are burrowing, they're just going to try and burrow past this cannon, and they might be able to do a little bit of damage, but they won't really be able to do a lot with that burrow. They might be able to burrow now that one of the cannons have been picked off. He's going to send, there are just a couple of roaches trying to make their way into the main. What happened to those Voiders? It looks like they did manage to pick off that 3rd, and we do see the rest of the Hydralisks trying to move their way across the map. The roaches doing a massive amount of damage, and there are a couple more weapons coming from Mokomi. It looks like there are no rare weapons upgrades right now. That would help so much in trying to kill off these roaches as fast as possible. These roaches do not have any, or they just have that +1 missile attacks upgrades, and opposed to the +1 weapon upgrade for Mokomi. But oh my god, the roaches come in, they unburrow right next to the Stargate. They're going to be able to pick this off. That will definitely start to halt some of that Void Ray production that is so vital for Mokomi right now. Mokomi is trying to get that Observer out, so he will, once he does get that Observer out, he will be able to deal with those burrowed roaches much more easily, even though those cannons are getting picked off. But the storm of Hydralisks and roaches is still coming in, and Mokomi's going to have such a hard time. He did try his 3rd. It is finished, but I don't know if he can really do anything with it at this point, as he's going to end up losing his natural. This 1 Void Ray, 2 Void Rays now, and these flurry of Phoenixes are going to be able to do a lot of damage to these remaining roaches over here in the main, but it's just not going to be enough. Mokomi does end up losing that natural expansion, and he's going to end up being in a very terrible position to really try and come back into this game. I'm really not sure what Mokomi can do at this point. I feel that even the Hydralisk count is going to be enough to potentially clean up most of the air army. All the Voiders do end up getting cleaned up, and it's just Phoenixes left to deal with the remaining Hydralisks and the roaches. It looks like Mokomi is forced to GG, so that is game number 2. That does put the series in favor of Murazor. This is the winners finals, I believe, of Boilerfrag 4.0. So that does mean that Murazor knocks Mokomi down to the losers bracket in a 2-0 fashion. So Mokomi not out of this game just yet. I do believe I actually already casted the losers finals that did involve Mokomi, so you can go ahead and check those out. I do believe that they're up against, it's Mokomi versus Endless Waltz. So go check that out, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Send any replays that you want casted to feardragon64@gmail.com. Please subscribe if you like any of my videos in any capacity whatsoever. And now, I will see you guys next time. Have a wonderful day, guys.